How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another episode of Previously DBS. It's been a while since I've done some of these, as I want to take a break for a little bit, and yeah, now we're back to doing it because now we're getting these spoilers for set 17 now, which started off great. So we got the trailer showing off what the theme for it is, being Ultimate Squads, with it being red being GT, going over the Black Store Dragon Ball. So you got the GT guys of Goku, Trunks and Pan for one side of the red archetype, and then the other side being Rildo and Dr. Mew together, which is something we haven't seen really in red, well, at all, not even just in red, but since set 3. It's been a good 14 sets since we've seen anything, and they finally given us a bit of nostalgia if you've played back in set 3, with having some Rildo, Mew, and the GT guys back for an archetype, and back in red like the ones they originally came in. So that's pretty cool. And then we got blue being the red ribbon ones, being one side being the old red ribbon stuff, which we only seen the Awakened side of the leader. But we haven't got, we've only seen like revealed Awakened side of the leader. And also a good thing for about the leader is they show all the Awakened sides of all the leaders, and for the blue one of the old red ribbon, like Dragon Ball red ribbon one, doesn't have an Awakened symbol on it. So it seems like we're going to get a kind of like Pan and Goku-ish kind of thing where they don't have an Awakened skill, they just flip over back and forth for blue, which is pretty cool. And the other one being the newly shown Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 for the other side of blue. So we're getting some of the Dragon Ball Super movie superhero as what the other half of blue, which is pretty cool. Nice to see what we get. I think we might get it before the movie comes out by the looks of it, given how the stuff that's happened. And then for green, we've got it's just focused on Cooler. So we've got one half is just normal Cooler from back in the movie when I can't remember which number movie it is, but when he comes back after Frieza's killed to get revenge on Goku with his squad. And then the other side is Meta Cooler when he comes back in as the robotic guy, which looks pretty interesting. Something we haven't got also since set 2 or 3. Can't remember which to say come in, but yeah, it's been a while since we got the Meta Cooler stuff. And I know there was some person just constantly on every single post saying they wanted Meta Cooler stuff, so they got that. And then for yellow, it's about the Cell Saga, but not involved with Cell the androids. It's like one half is a Piccolo, one side is a Piccolo leader, and one side is a Goku leader, but focusing on the Cell Saga with the Z Fires, which is pretty cool. And then so that's 4 colours. And then for black, we've got Toa with because it's still going on with the whole Dark Empire saga and stuff from Xeno. That's just still going on. And we've got Toa for now, so we've got another Toa leader. And I think this is a different form, like the more ultimate form, like Demon God Race form or whatever. But yeah, so that's all the different themes for it. And it looks to be an interesting set. I'm hyped for the Rildo stuff, which we've got revealed this week, because that was one of my favourite things. One of my favourite things for GT was Rildo being badass, like because you've got the Super Sigma and the Gamma, the robot guys, who are like GT's version of the Ginyu squad, which I love. And it does look be quite interesting. It's the last set of the Unison Warrior series blocks, because this could be the last set. They announced that the new set is going to be the Zenkai series, and it's going to focus on something called Z Leaders, and that's Z Leaders, and it's going to have a separate zone next to the leader zone as well, which we don't know much about yet. But it's going to be Z Leaders, which is going to be pretty cool, and Zenkai is like a Saiyan power up when they're close to death and stuff like that. But it looks interesting, and we're going to finally be rid of this Unison Warrior series block, which has been on forever. It's been a nice block, but it's just been going on forever. And we get onto a new block with new mechanics and stuff, so it's pretty cool. Look forward to that. We get one last set before Azahara, and this set also does not have a God Rare, so we got a God Rare in the last set, no God Rare in this set, and I think we're going to get a God Rare in the first set of the new block, which is pretty odd. But yeah, so let's get into it and get on with the spoilers. So it's just spoilers today, nothing else in terms of new news, because we already covered last week about the emergency ban. So starting off with it, we got the first leader we got. It's for the GT, for red, because it's only red spoilers, and we've got a few other spoilers in the strategy guide, and also some of the weekend spoilers being multicolour. But with the red one, so one of the first leaders is Goku, which then flips over into Goku, Pan, and Trunks. So I think it's the first leader that has a little power down, going from Super Saiyan Goku down to normal base Goku with the other two in base as well. And so this is one archetype based and focused more on Unison. So we've got the front side of the auto is like the yellow turtles, where when you place it in the leader area, you play a Unison, which in this case is Spaceship Vassal of Hope, from your deck with a marker on it in your Unison zone, which is pretty cool. So you start off with a Unison. So it's one of those nice decks where you can thin your deck. If you keep it 50, you can thin your deck even further. You start off with one of your cards straight away in play. And it's got a nice auto when it attacks. As a cost, you choose Unison, which is Spaceship Vassal of Hope, in your Unison area and place a Saiyan card from under your hand under it. Then when it attacks, you draw 2 cards. That's pretty cool. And which also sets up a really big thing about the Unison. And its Awaken is either when your life is 4 or less, or when one of your Unison cards has 7 or more markers on it. And trust me, you can ramp up this Unison with a ton of markers very quickly. So you're normally Awaken in potentially turn 1, mainly turn 2. And then what you can do is you draw 2 cards, then you add up cards from your life to your hand, so you have 6 cards left in life, and flip this card over. So, and when you flip over, you are now awakened, 15k. You only have a 1 auto, but you have 2 out of 8 main. So the auto is standard when it attacks, draw a card, so you're no longer drawing 2 cards, you're only drawing 1. And then you have an active main to help recur your Unison back if it does unfortunately get removed by once per turn, paying 1 red. If you don't have a Unison card in play, you play up to 1 Spaceship Vassal of Hope from your deck or drop area with a marker on it. Because the fact with this archetype is very focused Unison base. If Unison gets taken out, which is unlikely unless it's been taken out with a secret rare like Kai or SSB Vegeta from the U7 Goku deck, it's not really going anywhere. It's going to be hard to get rid of it because it's 15k and you get ramp up a ton of markers on it very easily and very quickly. But if it does get removed by those ways, you can establish it back by just paying 1 red, get it back on, and then start ramping the markers up. And then it does have a good late game play, where if we activate main, it's once per turn, Spirit Boost 10, so that means you have to remove 10 markers from Unison, which is very easy to do in this archetype, trust me. If you have 5 or more energy, so it's a turn 5 play, you can play up to 1 red Son Goku GT with an energy cost of 8 from your hand and play it, and it gets 5k power for the turn. And you might be thinking, what kind of card is that you can bring out? Now there is one for the set, which we'll go over in a bit, and there also is the second ever secret rare we ever got in set 3, which is the red Goku GT one, and that's one that, like, when it attacks, when it attacks, it gains 5k power, and if its power is 60k or more, you deal damage to your opponent. And it's got a thing where where just by discarding 2 red cards you can restand it so you can attack again, and it can evolve on top of 6 drop or higher by paying energy and discarding a certain amount of cards. It hasn't really seen play, like it will play back in Mecha Freezer, like when we had Suggestion when it was like a bit busted, it was a turn 2 kill deck. But since then, since that was fixed with the banning and nerfing of some things, it hasn't really seen play until now. And now it could be played off this quite well, which is it does take up your secret explorer spot where you might want to play something better. But then red is one of those decks, whereas the red secret rares are either themed, depending on the kind of deck you're playing, or you're running a black secret rare like Kai or Pan or something like that. And then with the Unison, that's like the linchpin of the deck that you want to keep all the markers on. It's got power red 10, which means when you play this Unison, if you play it by overtaking an old Unison, it could take up to 10, as long as it's red, it can take up to 10 markers from that old Unison, place on itself, along with the markers that you pay for whatever you paid for it. It also has a permanent which it can attack, which is standard with some kind of Unisons like this, when they have like a spaceship and stuff, not of a person. And it has also limit 1, where if this card has 4 more markers on it when you play it. When it's played, you draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your red battle cards and up to 1 of your red leader cards, and you gain 5k power for the turn. And not often you get to play this from your hand, because you're going to play start off with it and build up markers, unless it gets removed in some way, shape or form. You're not going to be playing a new one. But the way to gain a lot of markers on it is with Activate Main, which is our ±0. You place a Saiyan card from your hand under this card, draw a card, then add a marker to this card for each card underneath it, with a maximum of up to 3. So that's very good. So you can swing with your leader, putting a Saiyan under it to draw 2 cards, put another card under it by any other way, and then you can do the ±0, put in a Saiyan under it, draw a card, and then you've got 3 cards on it to give it extra 3 markers, so it goes straight up to 4 without any help, which is pretty cool. but there are other ways, which we'll see in a bit, to go over. But that is the leader and the unison it starts off with. And then we got the gang. Like, each gang has a few cards of them. So for Goku, he has a 1-drop, 3-drop, and a 4-drop. His 1-drop is the little searcher, because when it's played, you look at the 5 cards on the top of your deck, add up to whatever a red saying with energy cost of 4 or less, which is most of your archetype, or a red unison with a specified cost of 1 among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. And it also has, which a lot of them do have, is an activate main, which revolves around either putting itself on the unison or playing it from under the unison. So for this one, it's an activate main limit 1, where you choose 1 spaceship vassal of hope in your unison area, and place this card under it, add a marker to it. So not only do you get to use it as a cantrip, if you don't really want to use it, you can just go, okay, put in unison, give it a marker, and add some more cards on the unison, so when it does this activate main marker skill, gain some more markers. And then Goku's also got Son Goku Battle on Planet M2. This one is a 15k 3-drop critical. I think they all have evolved skill with a certain amount of power. You draw a card on top of a never copy same character. So in this case, it's evolve 1 red and draw a card to go on top of a red Son Goku GT. Kind of similar to how the yellow Trunks from the last set went. So this one's also limit 1, where you choose 1 spaceship vassal hope in your unison area and place 1 Saiyan card from under your hand under it. When this card is played, you draw 1 card and add a marker to the chosen card. So that's pretty cool. So you play it, and then when you do play it, you place a Saiyan back under it to replace this that was played from under it, because we'll see in a bit. Then you draw a card replacing the card you put under the unison in your hand, and then giving an extra marker to unison. So there's a lot of ramping markers on your unison, which is pretty cool. And you can play it for cheaper to free, because of activate main, we're limit 1 for 1 red energy. If you have 2 or more energy, you can play this card from under unison. So this is the kind of one of the things about this deck, is that you got a leader that plays a unison straight out from the board at the start of the game. You can ramp up unison very quickly, and by doing that, you're putting cards under unison that gain the markers more, and help the unison gain more markers by its own effect. And then the cards you put under it are not just dead cards that you can't ever access. They're now as like a second hand, similar to how Bojack has energy and stuff like that. And like some old green decks and cell deck stuff, they had extra cards in the drop, which is like a second hand. Now this uses cards under Unison's second hand, so it's a pretty interesting idea. It's different to what we've recently got, and some of them can be used very, very well as well, to be used outside the archetype. And then we got Son Goku Soaring Through Space. This has a evolve for 2 red energy, draw 1 on top of red Goku GT. This one's got 2 autos. So the first one is when it's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, minus it by 20k power. So a big minus, which is pretty cool, goes with theme of red. And the other one is an auto, once per turn. An auto, choose 1 spaceship vassal hope in your unison area. When this card attacks, you place up to 1 Saiyan card from your hand or drop area under the chosen card. So this is more with this, you're more going to put cards in your drop area underneath it rather than your hand. And it does it free by just by attacking. And this one also has a limit activate main limit 1, where for 1 red energy. But this one requires you to have 3 or more energy to place it from under unison. So that's pretty cool. And then we go on to the Trunks one. So Trunks also has 3 as well. He's also got a 1-drop cantrip, but like you get with some archetypes, they normally have 2 1-drops. One is a searcher for your stuffy in your archetype, and one is a cantrip where it just draws a card. And Trunks is the one where you just draw a card, and has the same kind of activate main where limit 1. Choose a spaceship vassal hope in your unison area, place a card under it, and a marker to chosen card. So normally turn 1 play. And then he's got a 3-drop as well, but he's got a 3-drop 15k, but instead of critical he's a blocker, and the same kind of evolve skill, but on top of red Trunks instead. And his auto is limit 1, choose 1 spaceship vassal of hope in your unison area, place a Saiyan card from your hand under it, Then when it's played, draw a card and add a marker to it. So once again, going with the theme of ramping up markers on your unison, while also not losing anything because you're placing a card from your hand, but drawing a card to replace it. And also has the same activate main, where for the same thing, 2 energy or more, play it from the unison as long as you pay the cost, and a limit 1. And then his 4-drop is SS Trunks Soaring Through Space. This one's got Barrier, and an evolve skill of just 1 red, and like the Goku's 1-drop was 2 red. He also has a permanent which protects unison a little bit, while this card is in rest mode, your opponent can't attack unison cards. So handy protection there, and Barrier means it's hard to interact with. And he's also got an auto of when it's played, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle card and gets minus 10k power for the turn. So just 10k less than the Goku does. And an activate main where For 1 red, if your opponent has 1 or more energy, so normally it requires you to have a certain amount of energy, but this one is if your opponent has 1 or more energy, play this card from under Unison. So it's pretty cool. And that is it for the Trunks ones. Then we have the Pan ones. So Pan has one of the SIs for the set, for the archetype. So Pan has a 1-drop as well with Pan's Adventure Advent, which is a barrier, but has an activate main of limit 1. Choose 1 Spaceship Vassal Hope in Unison area and place the same card from your hand under it. Draw a card, and then mark as a chosen card. So it does the same as Goku, but instead you keep this on board to do every turn, and because have that barrier, it gives it a bit of protection. And you just put in Unison sayings from your hand under your Unison to draw a card, replace itself, and add markers just to keep ramping up the markers. And it essentially does the same as the 1-drop Goku, but it's usable every turn and hard to remove, which is a barrier. And then we got Pan Soaring Through Space, which is the first SR. So it's got blocker, it's a 2 cost 5k. 2 activate mains, where the first one is limit 1 and Spirit Boost 1, meaning you have to knock off a marker from Unison to do it. And its effect is if you have 2 or more energy, play this card from under Unison. So knock a marker off the Unison, where you have 2 or more energy, play it from under Unison, and then its activate main is limit 1 for 2 red energy, so it's normally a turn 2 play. If your leader card is a Son Goku GT card, that's the cost. You play up to 1 Son Goku GT and up to 1 Trunks GT card, both red with 15k power or less, from under a Spaceship Vassal of Hope in your Unison area. So that means you get to pay 2 energy to bring out a Trunks and Vegeta together with it, at 15k or less, to play out, which is pretty cool. Like, I don't know, it kind of same cost as the other ones, but then you have this, you play this for free and have this blocker, and it's not too bad. But that's the Pan card, so each of the trio have a few cards in this archetype. And then we have the boss card for the archetype as well, which this is one that's more generic as well, so you can use it with any red archetype that has the red Unison. Because it's Son Goku, Pan, and SS Trunks Galactic Explorers. So it's an 8-drop, 30k with deflect, so that's pretty nice, meaning it's not going to be stopped from coming in. And it has 3 activate mains. The first one is for 3 red energy. If you have 4 more energy, you can play this card from under Unison card. That's not too bad. It's really good. Like, it's cheaper, as like most card decks now, where they play things out a lot cheaper than the cost. It's also got second activate main, where once per turn, by using Spirit Boost 3, so knocking 3 markers off your Unison, you can choose all your opponent's battle cards, and they get minus 30k power for the turn. And this card gives triple attack, so you get a triple attacking 30k, which is not too bad for free energy. And then the activate main is how you can use it in any red archetype or any red deck. It's a limit one though, so you can only use it once per turn. And it's choose one of your red Unison cards with 10k power or more, and place this card under it from your hand for the battle area. So either from your hand or from your battle area, you can place it under, most of the time from your hand. And you add a marker to a chosen card. So that's it. So that's really easy to use. So it's really nice in the fact that if you've got a red Unison out, you can add an extra marker to it by putting this card from your hand under it. And it's not really dead doing that, just add a marker, because later on, once you get the 4 energy, you can then always play it out from under there. And so you basically add a marker to Unison and setting up a future play that's not in your hand, protected from things like hand destruction, which is pretty cool. So a really nice card, and a really nice generic one as well for red decks, which is nice to see. So that is it for the GT side. And then we go on to the Machine Mutant stuff. So we go on to the Mew and Rildo leader. So this is the one I was hyped about, because I love General Rildo, I think it's pretty cool. So, and it's also nice to see that this is also a Dr. Mew card, meaning, like, that's what I was interested in, and knowing when I saw the card, because you could see Dr. Mew in the back. And some of the old stuff required a Dr. Mew leader, so it's nice to see that you can use some of the old stuff from set 3 with this leader, because it is also Dr. Mew. Because as you can see, its character is Dr. Mew and General Rildo. So it's got an auto where when this card attacks, play up to 1 red Machine Mutant card with entry cost of 1 from your hand. So that incorporates some of the old stuff as well, and some of the new ones. So it doesn't draw you cards, it gets to play things like 1-drops for free, so almost similar to the activate main on the old Mew leader. So this is kind of reboot without being a reboot. And its awakened one is a little bit unique in the fact that it's when your life is 4 or less, or you choose 3 cards from under a Super Sigma card in your battle area and place them under this card. You draw 1, untap 1, add cards from your life until you have 6 life left, and then flip this card over. So a different way, like most other alternate awakening conditions either require unison in play of a certain cost, or to fulfill a certain condition, and this certain condition is taking 3 cards from a Super Sigma card. And then when it awakens, it now has 2 autos in a Fate Battle. So first auto is once per turn, when you activate Evolve or Union Absorb, you draw cards. So that's pretty cool. So like some of the old stuff and even some of the new stuff as well, evolving on top and Union Absorbing. So you've got some draw on the leader by doing that. Also a bit similar to the Yellow Trunks from the last set. And it's got the same auto as the front side, where when it attacks, play up to 1 red Machine Mutant card with entry cost of 1 from your hand. So still playing out those little 1-drops. And now has the Activate Battle, where once per turn you place 1 card from under this card in its owner's drop area, and this card gains 5k power for the battle. So that's quite nice. Out defensively or offensively, you can gain a free 5k power for the battle, which is cool when you get free use of that. Because if you do the alternate from Awakening Condition, which most of the time you're going to do, is you get free uses of that. And then we come to the Ever Red Unison, because this red only has 2 unisons in this set. Because I think some Ever sets will have more unisons, like we got showcased in the trailer. Green will be getting at least 3 for the normal Caller Squadron. But for this one, for red, red just got another very strong unison in Baby Juvenile Parasite. Now it's a free specified cost, only 10k power, which is not too bad, but its effects are great. So it's got 2 permanents and activate main marker skill. So first permanent is if your leader card is red and all your energy card is in rest, your leader card gains plus 1k power for the turn. And that doesn't sound like much, but being a 16k means it's a lot easier to out combo without having, like, normally if you're 15k and your opponent's got a 20k, that requires 2 swings. But being a 16k coming out of a 20k, you just need 1 5k combo. So that does make a bit of a difference. And the other permanent is if this card will use a marker from an opponent's attack, you may place 1 card from under this card in its owner's drop area instead, meaning that it's got a way to avoid losing markers in that permanent by just dropping cards from underneath it. And how do you get cards from underneath it? Well, you can either use the SR 8-drop we just saw, we can put under it, but that's a bit of waste. Or you can use the card you get from the Activate main, which is a +1. So straight away when you play S4 markers you get up to. You draw a card, so given you draw, which not a lot of the free specified cost red unisons do, and then you choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, place it under this card, and then it gets 10k power for the turn. So you not only draw a card, you get to steal something from your opponent's board, anything as long as it doesn't have barrier, and can be taken as well, which is a thing, because indestructible and things like the freezer that has permanence that can't be removed from the battle area won't be taken, but anything else will. And then it becomes a 20k for the turn to attack with as well. So that's really good. That outplaces most of the free drop, free specified cost red unisons we've got at the moment. So like how U7 Goku has been playing free drop red unisons because it's got really good use of Videl and stuff. This might actually end up replacing that because it's so good, just absorbing a card while also drawing you as well. Really good. And then we have some of the 1-drops you can play off the leader. So with the leader, we've got back the Sigma squad, being Nezzy, Bizu, and Ribbit. We don't have Nat though. So in the old one, you had all 4. You had these 3 and Nat being 1 cost, then Bizu and Ribbit being 2, and Nezzy being 3 cost. You can always play them off the leader, and then get the next one and keep going up until basically you get Nezzy out, and then evolve into Super Sigma. But this one, they all have the same auto, where they're also all 1-drops, but Nezzy is only 4k but has barrier, and Bizu and Ribbit have 5k. And they all have the same auto, where if your leader card is a Dr. Mew card, so it works with the old Dr. Mew as well, when this card is played from your hand, add up to 1 Bizu, well, you add up to one of the other guys from your deck, or drop it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So Nezzy searches out Bizu, Bizu searches out Ribbit, and Ribbit searches out Nezzy. So they all search each other out, so you can keep looping them almost a little bit like gadgets from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, when we had the old green, red, and yellow gadgets. And the only difference between these is that Nezzy being the main leader of the squad. Also has a Union Absorb skill, which is once per turn for 1 red. You choose 1 Bizu and 1 Ribbit card from your hand and or battle area and place them under discard. Then you get to play up to one. Then you play up to 1 red Sigma card from your deck or drop area on top of this card to shuffle your deck you look through. So this is how you're going to be able to get the Super Sigma out, and then use the leader's effect to take 3 cards from under it to evolve with the ultimate awakening condition. And it's very cheap to do because you can free play this off your leader, then pay 1 red to get out Super Sigma. It's pretty cool. And then for Super Sigma, there is the old one in set 3, which is like a 4-drop that has an activate mean of sacking itself off to draw 2 cards and minusing your opponent's board, or something 10k I think. But now we also have 2 more Super Sigma cards. So we have one being a just 30k free drop skillless, which isn't amazing, but it's a thing. And then we have the Ever Super Sigma, which is Combining Warrior, which is a 4-drop 20k with Barrier Blocker. So it's nice having Barrier and Blocker, meaning Barrier is hard to interact with, and Blocker means it's got some use to it, defending attack or the swing for 20k. Has an also when it's played of drawing a card, and then choose all your opponent's battle cards minus 10k then for the turn, which is pretty decent. And then you got the Activate Battle, which for 2 red, you choose 1 Nezi Bizu and Rebit card from your hand and or drop area, place them in those drop areas and play this card from your drop. Now that's something I don't think you're going to often want to play, because you mainly want to get this out first to get the alternative win condition off your lead, and then have this in drop to absorb for the Rildo chain, which we'll see now. So you don't have to just bring out the Sigma squad for the leader's effect. You also have some Rildo chains as well. So we get 2 1-drop Rildos, both with the Union Absorb, which is a once per turn with 2 red entries of cost, where you choose 1 Super Sigma card in your battle area or drop area, place it under this card, then play up to 1 red general Rildo card with entry cost of 5 from your deck or hand on top of this card, then shuffle your deck and look through it. So they both have that little effect, and they both have different effects. So like I was saying back with GT, how most archetypes they have 2 little 1-drops. One has a searcher and one's a cantrip. This is the one for the Rildo, because the first one, Battle on General Rildo, Battle on M2, is the cantrip, draw 1, and then General Rildo combination ready is the searcher. And he doesn't search for a unison, he just looks at the top 5 to add up to 1 red Machine Mutant card among them, and add them to your hand and shuffle your deck. And there are some targets from the old set 3 one. There was the anniversary box. There's the anniversary box, the first one that gave support to Mew in the form of an extra card. That if your leader card was Dr. Mew, you give 15k power for the battle to a card. I think you get a battle card or leader card, and then you get to play from your hand a Machine Mutant, red Machine Mutant with entry cost of 2 or less. It's not too bad. Well, we'll see how it goes with it. And then there was also a General Rildo, which is a 5 cost, which had an activate main where you can discard from your hand I think from your hand or board a Nezi, Ribbit, and Bizu to the drop to play itself, and then add an auto when it's played. You can play an M2 from your deck to your board. And of course, the old M2 was a fill card, which if your leader's Dr. Mew when you play it, you draw a card. Then to activate battle if it's your turn, you can rest it to choose one of your opponent's cards and minus it by 5k for the battle. So it's a nice way to remove things. And with the new General Rildo card, we only got 2. We only got 2 new ones. We didn't get any strong chain, and there's no real SR for the General Rildo stuff, apart from the baby unison, but that's not really restricted to that. But we do have a 5-drop and a 7-drop. For a 5-drop being Hyper Meta Rildo, combined power, has blocker and an evolve for 1 red on top of the Super Sigma, so it gives a bit of use to that Super Sigma you keep out on board after you do the alternative awakening condition. And it's also as if your leader card is a Dr. Mew card. When this card is played, you draw 1 card. If you don't, well, you may draw 1 card. If you don't, you activate an M2 from your deck to shuffle your deck. So either way, you're going to be getting a draw card with since your leader has to be Dr. Mew, and the M2 will draw you a card at the least. And you also have an activate battle where once per turn you place 1 card from under this card in its drop area. Then you may choose one of your opponent's battle cards and add it to your opponent's life. If you do, switch this card to active mode. So that's a weird one. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, put in your life. Don't see you doing that much because you don't want to give him life, you want to kill him. But could come up with certain situations where you don't need to kill him, you're just going for a different way to win, which I'm not sure with the Rildo deck. And then the other one is Meta Rildo Ascended General. This is a double strike with barrier and blocker, so it's nice having barrier. I mean, it's nice to have barrier on things like these chains, so it's harder to get rid of. And for this one, it's an EX Evolve for 1 red on General Rildo with energy cost of 5 or more. So there's 2 targets. This one is 5 drop here, and the old anniversary one. And it has an activate battle where if it's your opponent's turn, you place 1 card from under this card in its drop area, switch this card to active mode, and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. So it means you can use it as quite a strong blocker, but to keep blocking multiple attacks. But the only problem being is that it starts losing power, but still not too bad. Just barrier double strike on a big guy is pretty decent. And that is it for the Rildo stuff. Then we have some of the other red cards that we spoiled. So we got a new super combo. So red got 1 super combo, being a updated Gyro super combo like we had back in set 3. We had a Gyro one which didn't have any combo power, but was a super combo that then gained 10k and a draw. Now you've got a Gyro with printed 10k and just a standard if your leader's red, and you're left with 4 or less. When it's using the combo, draw a card. And being a 15k attacker is power 2 cost. It's not too bad because at least then it can be played off the it can be played for a 15k attacker if needed, which is not too bad. Basically a revamp of the old one to be a lot better. Then we have Lewd, just like in the old set, in set 3 we got 1 Lewd card which wasn't great, and this one is not too bad. This is a free cost 20k blocker that can evolve on top of a pan card by paying 2 red. And activate battle once per turn, you can place 1 card from under this card in its drop area, switch this card to active mode, so it means you can get 2 blocks, but you only get 1 use because you only evolve on top of 1 pan. And I don't think there's any pans that have their own evolve chain plays on top. That's it for the stuff that could be like old flavor and a new super combo. And then we have some more red cards that kind of help old leaders. And if you're wondering what I mean, this bar is basically just a 1-drop blocker for the red Broly BR, so nothing special. I know people were hyped when they saw this in the trailer and thought, yeah, Broly's getting support, but no, they get trolled because it was shown on April 1st. And this Vegeta, if you might be wondering what kind of thing it supports, back during set 4 we had the baby chain, which became prominent as it further went on. The whole 1-drop baby absorbing a Vegeta or another baby to go into the 4-drop, then having the 5-drop promo over it, then using that effect to put a 6-drop SR on top of it, the big Apocal Ape. And back then you either had to have 2 1-drop babies or try and have enough energy to pay out one of the few Vegeta GTs we had, which would normally 2 to 3 energy. Now you have this 1-drop skills you can just play, so you can either have the baby or this one to make going into chain a little easier. So it's kind of support for the old red baby stuff. And then we have the extra cards. So we got 1 for GT, 1 for Rildo, and 1 for both of them, just a general red card, red extra card. So with the GT one, we got setting forth to space, which is a 1-drop activate main. We would choose 1 spaceship Vassal of Hope in your unison area, draw a card, add a marker to a chosen card, and place up to 1 red Saiyan card from your deck on the chosen card and shuffle your deck. So this is really good for the archetype because you're replacing the card itself by drawing a card, so it's just simply like pay an entry, draw a card. You're also given a marker to the unison as well, so you're getting 2 pluses on that. And then you're choosing any red Saiyan card from your deck on the chosen card to set up any play you want. So if you want a certain card like a Goku, Trunks, Pan or something for a certain turn, you have that ready set up in your energy using this, ready to do it when you want to, especially if you do this for turn 1. So this is a really good card for your archetype. Then we have Mechanized Planet. So this is a fill card with a permanent that says this card is also treated as a planet M2 in all areas. So kind of like a new revamp of M2, like how we got the Demonic Restraint being a revamp of the Broly's Ring. It has an also, if your leader card is Dr. Mew card, when this card is placed in your battle area, draw 2 cards and discard 1 card from your hand. Now this is decent in the fact that you draw 2, discard 1, and the card you want to discard is a Super Sigma, so you can play it off so you can have it in the drop ready for the Rildo chain, so take it from the drop to Union Absorb and go up the chain. And it's got an activate battle where you switch this card to rest mode, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, it gains minus 1k power for the turn. So this is weird. It's not. So this effect is not as good as the old one, but it's fact it can use during either player's turn, but it's only a minus 1k power. But it's not too bad because you can still use this in Cooler to give use this for free to give battle cards a little bit of a minus, so you can mill as well. So it's not too bad for that. And then we have Clash on Planet M2, where you got Goku versus Rildo. It's got the activate main of choose one of your red battle cards and then choose one of two effects you want to do after choosing your red battle card, where either the chosen card can attack battle cards in active mode for the turn. It's not too bad. Or you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and your opponent's battle card gets minus X power for the turn, where X is the power of the card chosen for the skill's cost. So if you choose one of your red battle cards, it's got 30k power, and choose an opponent's battle card, you minus it by 30k because that's what the power of the red battle card you chose is. So it's not too bad, but then it's not too great. There's better cards to do it with, but this requires you to have a big red battle card on board, really. But that's it for the red cards as well. Then we go into the multicolour spoilers we got for this weekend. So we're getting a new multicolour super combos for every colour combination, which is cool. So first one we got is Beerus Motivated Destruction. This is only a 5k though, with 10k power, super combat energy exhaust, which they all have, so we're not going to go over that anymore. And its auto is, because they all have just autos, is if your lead card is red or yellow, when this card is used in a combo from your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. If the reveal card is red, this card gets 5k combo power for this battle. And if it's yellow, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and it gets minus 5k power for the battle. So this is not too bad. I would say this is a better version of the DBS one, because even though you're not minusing as much, it's better because of the fact that you reveal the top card of your deck, add it to your hand. So you're essentially drawing from this, and then if the revealed card is red, it becomes a 10k combo, and if it's yellow, it becomes you minus one of your opponent's battle cards by 5k for the battle. But if the card is both red and yellow, you get both effects. So if there's a red yellow card, which is most of the time what you're going to want get in when using this really in Red Beerus, you get a 10k combo and minus 5k of one of your opponent's battle cards for the battle. And at the very least, you'll be playing this in a red deck, where you reveal a red card and this becomes a 10k draw 1. This is a 10k red draw 1, that then triggers a rival. So that's really cool. I like this one. It's mainly in Red Beerus more than anything else. And then for blue yellow, we got SS2 Kefla Super Fusion. So this one's also the rest of them are all 10k 0 cost 10k combos. This one's also is if your lead card is blue or yellow at the end of a battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and it gets placed at the bottom of his owner's deck. So that's quite nice. It's a shame that it's just at the end of the battle. It'd be pretty busted if it was mid-battle. But the fact you can just combo out of an attack, then bottom deck when your opponent's battle cards in rest mode is pretty strong. But then you got to think about, would you play this over the Zamasu super combo instead? Which probably most of the time you wouldn't, but this could have its niches, and it could be themed because it is a U6 and Kefla. Then for red-blue we have SSG Goku, Magnificent Might. So this one's also as if your leader card is red or blue, when this card is using a combo from your hand, if a red card is in your energy, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. Additionally, if a blue card is in your energy, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or unison cards and it gets minus 5k power for the battle. So you get both of if you got any red or blue energy, you get both the effects, but this is once again another one where I don't see this just like Kefla, I don't see this being run really over the Beerus red blue super combo, because that can untap energy, which is more useful in any deck that's red and blue. And while this is minus 5k battle card or unison card for the turn by 5, the ever minus of a leader card or unison is only for the battle. Yeah, is unsure, but I still feel that I kind of do feel that the Beerus one would be used more, like, a lot better than this, because it actually allows you to have energy to help with rival skills, where it's helpful rival skills but doesn't help much. Then today we got the the rest of the ones, because we had the other ones yesterday, Saturday, and we have these ones today. So you've got Vegeta, Proud Warrior. So this one's also is if your leader card is red or green, when this card is used in a combo from your hand, you play one Cyberman token and it gains unique and blocker for the turn. And as you know, Cyberman tokens have 5k power, 0 combo cost, and 5k combo power. So this is really good, really. Well, both now, they are red-green super combos are really good, because this is essentially a 15k combo power super combo, because you get that token and the token, so you either combo with this to play a blocker to help to then block the next attack, so you don't have to get to the combo step because you go to block and you didn't really care, or you play the token and straight away combo with it to have 15k combo offensively if you really want to. So that's not too bad. And the nice thing is it gets while Nappa can get you 20k worth of combo power because it plays itself the end and then combo again. This gives you 15k combo in one swing, whereas the Nappa gives you 10k over 20k over 2 swings, 10k in one, 10k in another. So it's not too bad. That's a really good one. I say it's pretty nice. And being a Saiyan and Vegeta has its benefits for certain decks as well. Then we have for the blue-green we have Android 17 and 18 team up attack. And its auto is if your leader card is green or blue and it's your opponent's turn, when this card is using a combo from your hand, switch it to one of your blue-green multicolor energy to active mode. Now that's really good. This is essentially the red-blue Beerus super combo, but in blue-green. So they've kind of shuffled over then. It's like they shuffled the blue-green, old blue-green effect into blue-yellow, which is really nice for things like the Android 21 and stuff, and even Android 16 I say that's pretty nice in. Like you don't get that hand destruction that the Ever 18 super combo would, but this one gives you more energy to help you do more rivals and stuff. And then we have for green yellow, Cell the Awakened. So this one's also as if your leader card is green or yellow at the end of a battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand, play this card from your drop area. So essentially, just like how the new blue-yellow one, the blue-green one is a color shift from the old red-blue Beerus one. This one is basically a color shift of the old green-red Nappa super combo. So this is exactly the same thing, just for green and yellow instead of green and red, which is pretty good. So this is nice and it adds to us. It makes use of that for successor, and also just to be more aggressive or more defensive with combo power now. Like I would probably run this in green over Chiro now. In green yellow Giro, because you get that more combo power out of this, where you get to play it straight away, and it doesn't play in rest, just plays from your drop area to your hand. So it's also one that triggers the old that field freezes heating pod as well for that. So that's something I'm going to go and revisit with Giro and back using this now, because this is a nice new addition, and hopefully maybe these get some the SPR treatment like the old ones do. It'd be nice to have SPRs of these as well, because the SPRs recently for these the newest sets have been really nice. And then we had a strategy guide as well, showing some mirror spoilers, and so we got a little bit of a look into the blue one for the red ribbon stuff. So we got Commander Red, Red Ribbon Unifier, General Blue, Red Ribbon Officer, and General White, Red Ribbon Officer. So Commander Red is a 2-cost 15k with barrier, which has a cantrip, because it's also draw when you play this card, draw 1. An activate main, which is limit 1, spirit boost 1, and for 1 energy. If your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, so there's going to be 2 leaders for that in the incoming set. Play up to 1 blue non-commander red Ribbon Army card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area. So that's not too bad. So just for 1 energy, we're knocking a marker off unison and only be able to do this once per turn. You get a free play from the drop of a 2 or less blue Red Ribbon Army card that isn't Commander Red. So that's pretty strong. That's pretty cool. And a target, at least right next to it, is General Blue, being a 2-cost 10k with 2 autos. One requiring 1 blue energy to be paid. Or one of your battle cards is removed from your battle area by a skill player card from your hand. So this is a way to play it out for cheaper from your hand. And then the other one is a limit 1. If your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, when this card is played, draw a card, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, which energy costs 4 or less, and return to his owner's hand. And then this card gains plus 10k power until the start of your next turn. So that's not too bad, that's pretty cool. So that gets the effect just when it's played, not from play for the hand, so it can be played from its first auto or from this Commander Red to trigger that. And then we have General White, the Red Ribbon Officer. So this one has an auto where once per turn, you choose one of your android cards, switch it, place it in his owner's drop area. When this card attacks, switch this card to active mode and it gains crit for the turn. So none of these are androids, so it's going to be interesting to see if what androids we get with him to trigger this. That'd be quite interesting, because I think the Gamma 1 and 2, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 leader, they're androids by the looks of them, and by the going theme of it. We don't know 100% if they are. They look to be androids, and so we might get some blue androids for Red Ribbon Army as well. So it'll be interesting to see what ones go with this and how effective this can be. And it also has an activate main, which is a limit 1 for 2 blue energy. If your lead card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card and you choose one of your Red Ribbon Army cards and place it in its drop area, you get to play this card from your hand. So you're not as cheap as General Blue, but still quite cheap. You just 2 blue energy to play this out by sacrificing a Red Ribbon battle card. It's not too bad. So there's only a glimpse of what we get for blue, but so far it looks a bit interesting, different to how most blue decks are being played. Then we have some of the green spoilers. This one is just showing some of the Metacooler stuff. So we see already that we're getting a multicolor card for Metacooler, which is cool. So we've so far been shown a 1-drop, a new field, and a successor multicolor. So with the 1-drop is Metacooler multiplying threat. Also, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, look at up to 5 cards from top of your deck. Play up to 1 infinite multiplication Metacooler among them in rest mode, then shuffle your deck, and this card gets 10k power for the turn. So this could be interesting if we get a new infinite multiplication Metacooler in this set, because that's the 2-drop 15k that basically has the permanent where, or all it has is the permanent where you just play as many copies of this card in your deck as you want. So it'd be interesting if we get any new ones of that, maybe a green one, or if it just applies to the old one. And then you also get a new field card, just like the Mew one, the M2. The field card for Metacooler is revamped. So it's Big Getty Star Nightmarish Regeneration, which is a field, with the permanent, which this card is also treated as Big Getty Star in all areas. So it means the old yellow Metacooler deck, you get to bring out this card instead of the old ever field card if you want to. And it's got 2 activate mains. First one is a burst 1 with paying any 1 energy and switch this card to rest mode. You look up to 3 cards from top of your deck, play up to 1 infinite multiplication Metacooler among them to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you get a look at the top cards, play a Metacooler, and then put the rest at the bottom. It's not too bad. I can't remember what the other one did, but I feel it might be something similar. And then the ever activate main requires 1 green, 1 yellow, and 2 of any color, meaning this is going to be a more like green-yellow deck by the looks of it. And you place 1 Metacooler core card from your hand under this card, play up to 1 Metacooler core card from your deck or drop area on top of this card, and shuffle your deck if you look for it. So, I wonder if we're going to get any more, but it'd be interesting to see what everyone's we got. So we can play some of the old stuff and some of the new stuff as well. And then we have Metacooler Core, the Collective. So this is the 8-drop successor card with 35k power, so a bit of a beast. But you're not going to pay an 8 energy because it's a successor, where you just need 8 cost of battle cards on the board that are either yellow, green, or yellow and green, and sack them off to build, like Synchro Swimming, sack them off to play this for just 3 energy, being at least 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 of any color. And it also has a permanent where Metacooler cards in your battle area gain blocker, so that's pretty cool. And it's also, which when you use this card's successor skill to place 4 or more battle cards in drop areas, play up to 4 infinite multiplication Metacooler from your deck and or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you look through them. So that's pretty cool, because you can just amass a board of 4 of the infinite multiplication Metacooler from to your board, and then swing with all of them being 15k, 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 sack them off for 3 energy, play this, then bring them straight back up from the drop, to then have another 4 15ks and this 35k swing as well. So that's pretty interesting. Looks like a Metacooler might be coming back with a bit more force now, and going into 2 colors, getting more benefits than it previously could have had. And that is for green. And then for yellow, we have a little bit of a look into the Z Fighters. So we get to see a Unison and 2 battle cards. So we got Piccolo, the Z Fighter, which has which is one specified cost yellow unison with 5k power. It has empower yellow 2, meaning if it is played by replacing an old a yellow unison, then it takes over 2 markers from that previous unison to itself. So normally, if you're tapping 1 out for this, and every unison has 2 markers on, this comes into play with 3 markers on. And it has an auto where limit 1, if this card has 3 or more markers on it, when it's played, draw a card. So nice little counter effect. And it's got a simple +1 where activate main, this card gets plus 10k power for the turn. Not too bad. Nothing amazing, but not too bad. And then we've got the Sun Gohan, Inherited Will. Free drop 15k with barrier, and an auto where limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader card is yellow Son Goku card, which one of the 2 yellow leaders in this is Goku. When one of your yellow unison cards is placed in your drop area, play this card from your hand. So if you like, that even counts if you play a unison card over a unison card. And then activate battle once per turn, discard 1 yellow unison card from your hand, choose it to one of your leader cards or unison cards, and it gets 5k power for the battle. So it seems to be quite a big theme from the description as well, of being focused on unison cards for yellow. Not too bad. And then we have Trunks Super Warrior, blocker, same auto as the Goku, so it's Gohan, sorry, but a second auto which is Spirit Boost 1, knocking 1 marker off a unison. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So that's not too bad. So nice removal there, and yeah, it can easily come in down for 1 like Gohan can. And that's it for yellow. So that's it for all the spoilers. And we do also have one last bit of spoilery in the for this week, which is the pre-release cards. And for the pre-release this time, we get 2 unisons instead of normally we've previously got like a leader in unison or a battle card in unison. Now we're getting 2 unisons, which look to go quite well together. So we've got Trunks the Empowered and Son Gohan the Be Empowered, both 5k 1 specified cost yellow unisons. Both have Empower yellow 2, which means if they replace a unison, if they're played by replacing an old unison that's yellow, they can carry over 2 markers from it back to itself. And the only difference, ever difference being Gohan has blocker while Trunks doesn't have any other keyword skills. They both have a permanent where during your turn this card gets plus 2000 power for each marker on it, so they can ramp up a lot more power during your turn with more markers. And they both have an auto where limit 1, if you have a unison card in play, when this card is placed in your drop area from your unison area, add up to 1 of the other one to your hand from your deck to shuffle your deck. So the Trunks add as Gohan and Gohan as Trunks. So if you keep playing them over each other, they grab the other guy from their deck, meaning you deck thing quite well. And they both have a +1, and they're better different though, because Trunks' one is activate main, discard 1 card from your hand, draw 1, and Gohan's is at the end of your turn switch this card to active mode. So that's not bad. Pretty interesting. I think these will go quite well, I imagine, with the yellow archetype for this set, because it seems to be favouring quite a bit on unisons. But we'll see. But that is it all for the spoilers this week, for the news this week on previously in DBS. We're going to get more spoilers next week, which I don't know what colour we're going to get. There wasn't any real post to say about it, but it's just nice we got red first. After getting no information about red in the strategy, well, no information about black either. But once again, thank you for watching the video. Feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if there's anything I missed, got wrong, or anything you want to discuss, or anything you want me to cover on the channel. I'll happily give it a try. And also feel free to subscribe. It keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop, and even by clicking the notification bell, you get alerts when my videos do drop. And also by subscribing, you help me get to my goal of 1,000 subs, which I'm currently just over a quarter way there, and slowly gaining traction getting to it. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.